there, the bipolar lesbian here. Sorry, I've been sick with pneumonia, so I've been a little down and out, and work has kept me really, really busy as well. Because I'm, trying to flex that in between being sick. So it's been a really rough couple weeks, actually. So I'm finally getting better. That's good. Unfortunately, the doctors found another nodule in my lung, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. I had surgery last year to remove it. I know that's a little off topic, but I figured I'd touch that. Speaking of off topic, I know on this channel I talk about mental illness and things related to that, but I figured I'd also cover a little bit about myself. I know if you're not interested, you can leave now. But no, this is going to be pretty much kind of a quick video, just discussing the other aspect of my username. And I am the bipolar lesbian, and of course, my bipolar in the username comes from my real life experiences with mental illness. And those, have affected me greatly, and this is why I wanted to make this channel. But of course, I had that little addendum to it, which is lesbian, and of course, which is what I am. And I figure I'd discuss and address my coming out story. And this is just to really my intimate people in my life. I am close to my parents, so I'll be starting with them. I don't have a lot of extended family, unfortunately. They're all dead. That's a story for another day. Dealing with the mental illness and grief counseling. But anyway, I figured I'd start with describing how I came out to my parents, and I'll start with my mom. My mom, I so much didn't come out to. She, not in a mean way, and I don't mean to phrase this in any mean way, but she kind of cornered me in a friend's garage and was like, "Will you just tell me already?" And I'm like, "Fine, I'm gay." And she looked at me and she's like, "What do you want me to say? That I hate you now?" And I didn't know what to respond. I mean, I was just sitting there like, an idiot. I mean, I felt, funny and, embarrassed and wanting to get out of the situation. But no, she basically just accepted me. She's like, look at all the friends you've had in your life. She goes, have I loved them and accepted them? And, for who they are? She goes, of course I'm going to accept you as my daughter and never, turn you away. She goes, I don't care if you're whatever. She goes, you can be whatever you want. She goes, it's, your business. And they actually, she actually really, changed her opinion on certain social issues because of me. My growing up with my friends being gay and then me being gay. She changed her opinion, on gay marriage and, certain things like that. And she now agrees with things, and she's gone to pride events with me. She supported me through that. So that's all been wonderful and awesome. So that was with my mom. So basically it was her cornering me and just asking me, and I finally admitted it, and it all went super wonderful. Next I'll go on with my dad. I kind of approached him. He's a little clueless. He's just an airhead. He's a basket case. But anyway, so I kind of just went into him while he was sitting at his desk on his computer, and I sat with him, and I said, "Dad, I have something to tell you." And he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "I am gay." And he's like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Well, what do you have to say about it?" And he's like, "Okay." And he goes, "And?" And I'm like, "Don't you have something to say about it?" And he's like, "No, I don't." He's like, "I don't care." He goes, "So you're gay?" He goes, "That's just you." He goes, "I'm not gonna, change my opinion on you. You're still my daughter." And I thought that was really great. And I, of course, am a big crybaby. So I started tearing up, and I was, weepy voice, "Will you still go to my wedding with me?" And, I'm just a complete, idiot mess. And he, hugs me, and he's like, "Of course I will," and, reassures me on that. So, with my dad, it went extremely well as well. And the only other person really was my brother. And when I went in to talk to him as well, I went myself to him. And when I approached him, I told him, I said, Matt, my brother, I am a lesbian. And his response is, oh, we can look at girls together now. I mean, that was his, basically his only reaction, and, he means it just in the way that he now knows that, he can go, check this girl out or something like that, like you would a friend, be like, yeah, appraisal, kind of thing. I know that sounds a little, crappy if you say it like that, but not in a mean way. Just, say, someone's pretty. We can both appreciate that now. And he thought that aspect was really enjoyable. And I thought that was funny that was his first comment, that, we can both now appreciate aspects of women together. And so with my family, immediate family, it went very, very well. With my aunt, my great aunt, she's basically the only other living family I have, her and my uncle. With her and my uncle, they're religious, but not overtly, or crazily, or evangelical, or anything like that. However, they, are a little more old-fashioned. However, my aunt, after some time digesting it, she thought it was just a phase at first, but that's just over 60-year-old talking, I mean, she's still adjusting to social norms that are changing, and she's, has no idea of how things go. But, but nowadays, I mean, this past Christmas, she asked me if I was bringing anyone special over for Christmas dinner. And I thought that was incredibly kind. I wasn't, because I am single and I am a loser and I don't have any friends. So I didn't have anybody over, but I thought that was very, nice that she asked, because I had the year before, and it was nice to see that she accepted that and was willing to, know that is going to be a part of my life, and part of something that's going to routinely happen in the future, is that I'm going to, have, the woman that I love with me. And I thought that, like I said, was very sweet of her. And so with my family, it all went extremely well. I mean, I have a couple of close friends. When I told them, they weren't really shocked. I don't think anyone really was too shocked by this revelation. But no, it all went extremely well, and I am very fortunate to say that. I live in a more conservative state. I live with people who have a little more traditional values, some religious values. However, they accepted me, and they treat me like one of their own. And I've had only two people, but they don't matter. I think of them as one entity because I don't speak to either of them, react badly, and they're just not a part of my life. And they're not a part of the family because they are very hate-filled and very just mean-spirited and nasty, and who needs that in their life, right? So yeah, so like I said, this is just, I wanted to make a quick video. I figure wrap it up now. It's, dragging on a little bit, and I'm just rambling as usual. But yeah, so that's a quick video on why I am the bipolar lesbian and my coming out story, and that all went extremely well, and I am a very fortunate person for that. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. I'd be happy to answer anything. If you're struggling maybe with your identity or your sexual orientation, please feel free to ask a question about coming out, or if you think it's the right thing to do, if you feel safe. It's all very important to consider if you're going to be coming out in a safe environment, so you don't end up on the streets or something like that, or at a homeless shelter. I wouldn't want that to happen to anybody. So just be safe about it. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I appreciate you watching this video and putting up with my rambling bullcrap again. And this has been the Bipolar Lesbian, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you very much for watching. Peace out.